Do you want to create water drops in Blender? You came to the right place. I just released the version 3 of my quick water drop add-on. I will show you all the features that are in the add-on and how to use them. Before you click away, the first 10 people that use this code can get the add-on for free. Otherwise, it's just $5. So let's get started. So first of all, to install, you install it like every other add-on. You go to Edit, Preferences, click this small arrow right here, click on Install Disk. You search your folder of the zip file where you downloaded it, select the quick water drop version 3 and install it. After that, on the right side right here, you should see the water drop add-on and everything should be ready to go. First thing first, select your object and press add or reset drops and boom, the add-on sets everything up for you and you already have some nice droplets. First thing we can do is play around with the base radius, so how big the droplets are, or the scale randomness, so how random the scale is. Also the density, the seed and the resolution. So if you want to have a little higher quality droplets, just increase the resolution. Let's set it to 500 and they are more around. But in the final render, you don't need too high of a resolution. Usually 250 is fine. But if you have a really big or large object, maybe up this a little bit. In earlier versions, I had problems with the scale of the droplets if the object is super big or super small. But I fixed this right now and I will show you also how to do it. First of all, if you have a small object, always make sure you press Ctrl A and apply the rotation and scale. This is super important. After that, you can press the add drops again, but maybe you see, oh, the drop is way too big and it doesn't make any sense. For this, we have a global master scale right now. You can lower this setting and this will reduce the size of your droplets, but it doesn't only change the scale, it changes also the speed, how fast the droplets fall down on your object, which is also super important. You can change the speed anyway after that, but I implemented everything in this global master scale. Be careful to not go too low or too high, otherwise it could crash. But this is super helpful also for big objects. You can add them, but press Ctrl A first and apply scale and rotation. And now the scale is actually quite accurate, but you can increase this again so it fits your object perfectly and your needs. What I also added is the placement masking. Before, the whole object would have had droplets all over it, and now you can enable this and select the paint surface mask and you can paint over your object where you actually want droplets to spawn. Go back into the object mode and you can see only droplets spawn where you painted the object. A similar thing I added is falling drips. It's the same process. You can enable it and select paint drip mask where you want water to actually fall down. So let's paint it down here and go back into object mode and also increase the density. And if I press play, you can see water drops down from these places. It's not super accurate right now, it's still in the beginning, but it can already achieve some nice cool effects, and if you look at it a little bit from the distance, it gives a believable effect, so it's super cool. Again, you can change density, fall distance, speed, randomness, scale, whatever you like. Before, if you wanted to have more droplets on your surface and some smaller droplets, you would have to increase the density of the overall droplets, which is quite heavy on your machine. And therefore, I added the condensation fog. If you enable this, you can see it adds super small droplets, which are not so heavy for your PC because they are super low poly, but it gives a believable effect if you look at them from far, and it can cover some leftover areas and make it even more interesting to look at. Again, here you can change density, scale, and scale randomness. What I already had before is trail and meandering and animation flow. This just means we have some droplets. If you play the timeline, you can see some droplets fall down or just move down. If you don't want them at all, you can deactivate the animation so you have no droplets flowing down. If you want them, activate them. And in the version 2, I also added the show debug trails. If you activate them, you can see some small lines right here. These show you the path where the droplet will move along. And you can change the trail length with this slide right here so the droplets fall further. You can increase the trail chance so there are more trails on your objects. You can also increase the trail wiggle right here, so it increases the randomness of the movement. Sometimes it's not too accurate, so don't go overboard with it. And also the wiggle scale. A funny feature I also added is down here in the speed. It's called the stick and slip slider right here. If you increase this, the water drop doesn't just move down along in a linear motion. It has like a stick and slip movement. So sometimes it's fast and sometimes it slows down a bit. So it's a little bit more realistic because water drops don't just fall down in a straight linear movement. They have some stop and go movement, and with this you can increase this as well. If the lines don't follow perfectly the path you want them to go, you can also change the flow rotation right here. So you can also make them move from left to right or whatever rotation you would like. To increase performance, I also added this new performance LOD slider right here. If you add a camera, and let's go into the camera, you can select the add-on again, and with the eyedropper tool, select the camera you just created. And now if I go out of the camera and lower the LOD distance, you can see at some point, some of the droplets get replaced by some low poly versions. This is super helpful if you have a super big object and you only have a single part of the object in focus, and the water drops behind the object don't need that much of a high quality. So you can decrease the LOD distance and replace the high poly version with some low poly water drops. This just increases performance as well. And last but not least, I have implemented a bake option, so you can actually bake your animation. Just be aware, if you click it, it can take up to 2 to 3 minutes until it's done loading, so don't get frustrated if it takes a little bit longer. And this is already it from this add-on. I improved it a lot. I hope you also like it. If so, check out the link in the description to my Gumroad where you can look at it. And with that, I wish you happy creating, and I see you in my next video. Peace out.